subscribe.
Out of your fat asses, because you got some fat asses.
We interrupt this program to bring you.
Oh, what a week. What a week. Oh my god. I hope you guys heard that, by the way. That's the crowd in Sacramento for Hell in the Cell crowd chanting refund. Oh man, what a week. And what a way to end the week. God. We try to be positive about everything on this podcast. By the way, it's just Frank. Welcome back to Strong Mid Card Podcast. I'm flying solo today, man, and I was going to cut a podcast earlier in the week, just talk about just the Wednesday Night Wars and stuff, because I figured that'd be the only thing that's really going on this week, SmackDown or whatever, but I didn't really care too much about that. I mean, I saw some of the highlights and stuff, but, nothing that I didn't expect to see. Kofi losing, I'll get back to that, but I just finished watching the main event, and I was kind of tuning in and out of Hell in a Cell. I really just wanted to see if they were actually going to give the title to Bray. I'm pretty sure a lot of people tuned in because of that. We wanted to see something new, just something special happen. And, Jesus, the ending. The ending. First of all, the red lighting I was not a fan of, but I get it. The atmosphere or whatever. Match was pretty, I guess you could say brutal by WWE standards or whatever, but let's just get right to the nitty-gritty, man. The ending. What the hell was that? I'll talk about a cop-out ending, man. It's like they booked themselves into this corner. What are you gonna do? You got a lot of people in the crowd expecting or hoping that Bray was gonna win because it would lead to something else. Like he's the hottest thing going, and definitely in that product. I don't know after tonight, man, but geez, they really dropped the ball with that. Like that ending. How do you get disqualified? I think I was watching a clip right here. I'm on Twitter right now. Twitter's amazing right now, especially after the Hell in the Cell. I'm watching the clip of X-Pac going off and saying, how do you get disqualified in a Hell in the Cell match? And then he says, oh, sorry, that's a text message right there. Oh, then he says, this might be the last time you guys have me here, but what the hell? He just goes off. Oh man, everybody's going off. The memes right now are great. So anyways, Seth gets disqualified for using a sledgehammer, being too brutal apparently on poor old Fiend. They call the match. Everybody just goes nuts. The whole crowd is just very loudly chanting bullshit. They're chanting AEW really loudly, like there was no way to hide that. Bray comes back to life, of course, after all the AMTs. I mean, in what was a cool shot, and maybe in another, like on a Raw or something like that, would have looked better than such an important week that the WWE had. And this pay-per-view kind of fell, this kind of throwaway pay-per-view kind of fell, in that week, and they needed to do something. And I guess they thought this was, was going to add a little bit more lore, but I think everybody was kind of like, all right, so what are you guys going to do? AEW just killed it on the ratings, had a great debut. NXT killed it in presentation, and they're slowly gonna build their fan base. With what's going on here, it kind of feels like WWE is slowly just telling everybody to go watch those two programs instead, and even Impact and NWA, like New Japan. It's like, what else can you do to piss off people? The crowd was so loud, man. It was great. Like at first I was kind of in shock, and then I just started kind of taking it all in, and I was like, you know what, this is exactly what it should be. I love this. I love the fact that the fans took over and loudly shouted, and these are WWE fans, okay? So all the people on your Instagrams that like wholeheartedly defend the WWE, they're gonna have fun the next 2 days trying to defend this, man. I mean, what do they do with the Fiend? You pissed off people so much that can you keep him as hot as he is? Seth has already kind of lost everything, man. It's just they booked him so badly. We here at this channel were always behind him. We always thought he should be the guy at the forefront instead of a Roman Reigns, but maybe we were wrong, man, because this is as bad as Reigns. And I don't even know too much about the other matches. I know I did watch the Sasha and Becky match, and that was a good match. It was kind of brutal. I was kind of hoping Sasha would win just to give it a, Becky chasing the title is way more interesting than her standing on top of the mountain. But who knows where they go with that? And honestly, it's kind of not as important as what happened in the main with Seth and Bray Wyatt. So with that being said, what do you guys think? What the hell was that? Just a complete cop out that they get scared at the last minute? Do they still not believe in Bray Wyatt even though he's the hottest thing going? Is it the Fox thing because Bray is kind of a more horror theme, sinister type of I guess dangerous character, and now that they're on Fox they want something a little bit more legitimate, less kooky, I guess, you know. Who knows, man? But the crowd's going crazy, man. I'm looking at all these freaking memes and stuff on Twitter, just fan reactions. Oh, man. Oh, that was great. People sticking around after the whole thing is over and loudly booing. I love that. Oh, what a time to be alive. I love wrestling. This is great. Alright, so it was more WWE news. So let's get right into the... Oh, wait, here's X-Pac. Let me see if you guys can hear it. Where's the cannonballing? Sorry, guys.
Wait, what?
Here we go.
Interesting.
Come on, X.
Come on.
He's all of us right now.
But you stopped the match. Got him.
All right.
He's still the champ.
You may not ask me back for another one of these, but how the hell do you get DQ now?
He didn't get DQ'd. They have
Frickin'
to stop
cell.
the match. I don't know if he got DQ'd.
Well, they're raising Cell now, so.
Oh,
They just
man.
called it.
What are you gonna call it, bro? Stop trying to defend him. Jesus, you sound like all these like WWE marks online. Like, well, you gotta understand the storyline. Shut up, dude. Yeah, there was a picture of Cody and fucking one of the Young Bucks laughing. Oh man, tomorrow's gonna be amazing, and this week's gonna be AEW, man. The ball's in your court. It's time to do something special this coming Wednesday. I think Mox is wrestling, right? So that should be interesting. We'll get back to AEW in a second. Let's get into the Brock Lesnar thing and the Cain Velasquez thing. Was I the only one that thought that was freaking Rey Mysterio's kid walking down with him? Oh man, apparently that's going to be a Saudi Arabia match, so another great piece of press. You get that match and you put it on the Saudi Arabia bill, and then you're going to make it a championship match too. It's like, geez, man, you're really tugging at this like mainstream stuff, aren't you? To this day, WWE is so obsessed with getting mainstream acceptance, and they'll never get it. That's the funny part. But you're gonna waste all this time and money, and keep jerking your own fans around, knowing fully well that most of them are gonna keep coming back for more. And on paper the match sounds interesting. I'm like, all right, I'm down to watch that. What are you gonna do with it? I seriously don't think that they needed the title. Kofi, that's just fucked up. I mean, if you want to sit there and not call it a burial and defend it, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're drinking too much of that WWE Kool-Aid. That was a total fucking burial. I'm sorry. Kofi deserved better than that. He deserved at least like a 7-minute match like Finn got, like AJ got, like Daniel Bryan got. You really fucked him. That's what and now what? Irrelevancy? He goes back to the mid-card? What do you do with Kofi now, man? Hopefully he goes to Raw and kind of makes a slow climb back, and hopefully the people won't abandon him, because you totally went out of your way to fucking bury the guy. After a historic WrestleMania moment, that's that. It was 7 seconds out of here. Why? Because we got to build this Cain Velasquez thing. Like, that didn't need the title. That totally didn't need the title. It's like sounds like Lesnar's trying to pull a Hogan, trying to get that win back. But, I don't know how you're going to book that. Are you going to give Cain the title? After that, if he loses another schmoz ending, because I guess it doesn't matter because it's Saudi, a schmoz ending, what do you do with Cain after that? You know what I mean? You're putting yourselves into this corner where you kind of have to call an audible right before the match starts, and it ends up blowing up in their face. So who knows what happens after that? But I don't know. I just didn't think it needed the title. It's like a celebrity match. Build it to WrestleMania or Rumble or something. You'll still build up interest. You don't need the title, but now you're holding the title hostage on SmackDown. So there you go. That's what you get for that. What else happened? The Raw came in and buried Baron Corbin, but he's been getting buried forever, and put over Becky, which is cool. So that was cool too. I mean, that part was cool, I guess. But that's really the news that I can take from the WWE side for this week. I know SmackDown did really good in the ratings, so good for them. But you can't keep bringing the lunches back every Friday, or can you? Who knows? Who knows how much money they got, honestly. All right, what else we got in the news? Sorry. All right, so the first week of the Wednesday Night Wars, what did you guys think? I personally had so much fun watching the AEW show, man. It was a little bit of everything. It was like WCW with the, like I always said, I loved how the smoke used to linger around. It gave it like this really cool atmosphere. The matches were fun. Cody and Sammy, that was a good, fun match. Riho and Nyla, I thought personally, yeah, there was a couple of botches in there, but like for the most part, they had the crowd in the palm of their hand, especially the endings or the near falls, where it was just a fun match, man. Like we totally thought Nyla was gonna win. Me and the boys were watching it, and by the end of it, we were at the edge of our seats, like cheering for Riho, and now that's what a good match is supposed to do. So that was a fun match too. The 6-man tag was just overbooked like a motherfucker, but for people to criticize that, it's like, really, after tonight, shut the fuck up. Just enjoy it. It was a fun match. There was still a definitive 1, 2, 3. Everything happened afterwards. Jake Hager showing up. At first I thought him showing up, it's like, oh, maybe this is their ploy to try to get Kane in. You get a Bellator guy, you get a UFC guy, work that in somehow. I thought that would have been interesting. But hey, as far as the Jake Hager thing goes, I'm all for it. As long as he stays silent and just slams everybody around, he'd be a good hitman for Jericho. And that's perfect. I mean, I don't think I'm pretty sure he still cares about wrestling, wants to be on there, but I'm sure he's pretty fixated on his MMA career a little bit more, so he can be that muscle guy for a while. And like I said, him just slamming people around would be just fine. I think that'd be perfect role for him. And also with the Santana and Ortiz, the building that stable with Sammy Guevara, I mean, the ending was pretty fucking cool. It definitely left me wondering what the hell was going to happen next week, especially you got the tag team tournament starting, and that shit's going to be off the chain. So it left me like fully satisfied. It was a fun show. It went really fast, 2 hours, and then it left me wanting to watch next week. So I'm in, man. The Dynamite first show was just that. It was fucking Dynamite. So unfortunately, I'm gonna be working this time, so I'm gonna have to DVR it and watch it when I get home. But that's all good, man. That show was worth it. If every show is like that, I think we're in for Wednesday nights are going to be the night, man. Wednesday nights are going to be the night. Raw, I don't know what the hell's going to happen to Raw, but they better, pick it up, because WWE is really just tripping all over itself. They keep stepping in piles of shit. NXT show, I watched it the next day. The only real problem I had is the fact that, AEW established they were doing their first episode of their show. NXT wanted to give you a takeover. And then when I broke it down and I was talking to the guys, I was like, there's no way any of those titles are going to change hands. They can't. Not for what they're building. They're not ready to give Matt Riddle that title with that short of a build. No way. Like Shayna Baszler, they're not Baszler, whatever. Ronda's friend, I don't think is ready to go up to main, and especially now that they're saying that NXT is considered a main. Like, I don't think she's going anywhere too. Candice LeRae would have been if there was a title to change, it should have been that one. Because I'm pretty sure like a lot of people are tired of Shayna Baszler already. It's like, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it changing. I think Candice is going to take that route of Johnny Gargano and just keep losing for a while until you slowly build up the win. But yeah, and then with tag titles, I'm pretty sure everybody knew that wasn't going to change hands either. So that was my only problem. It's like, yeah, it's a takeover level type of matches, but none of those titles were going to change hands. It was pretty much watch our show, something might happen, and fully knowing that they weren't going to change anything. So I mean, that being said, the matches were fun. The Riddle and Adam Cole match was a lot of fun. That was a good match. The women's championship match was also actually pretty good, but it's just like kind of left a sour taste in my mouth when I was like, I know none of these they're not going to change. So I mean, for NXT, it's kind of like, well, we're going to have takeovers every episode. You know what I mean? You can't do that. How are you going to develop storylines? Like, I don't know, man. I almost feel like they're kind of they panicked this week. Like, this is supposed to be a huge week for them, and they panicked. I mean, they're the ones that put the show on Wednesday. They didn't have to put it. They could have just left it on the network, but they know we're going to answer that, and then this happened, and then AEW crushed them on the ratings, and the Monday show wasn't great. You go to the SmackDown show, and it was all right. It was a spectacle, what it was supposed to be. Give you a few moments, and then the whole Brock Lesnar thing, and then you go to today's pay-per-view that the whole card wasn't even set. It was like 4 matches and a bunch of just filler matches, and it was like how arrogant, I guess, of WWE to be like, you're gonna watch anyway. You shut up and watch it, Mark. You know what I mean? So they have enough people defending them that I guess they felt they can get away with it. So whatever, man. It's all I know is that out of this week, the AEW is a must-watch. NXT would be right after that, and then, you know, I'll watch highlights of the other two, or go on Twitter and let everybody tell me what's going on, I guess. But that's my thoughts on the Wednesday Night War thing and the whole thing going on. Let's see what else we got here. Because I wrote notes down this time during the week, but I pretty much already touched on everything. Let's see. The whole CM Punk thing, what do you guys think of that? Especially after tonight, man. I'm wondering if he is getting cold feet and he's just like, oh shit, maybe signing to WWE. Like, tonight would be the greatest night, would be the best night to debut on. Imagine that. Like, okay, let's go to the FS1 thing, or Fox Sports 1 thing, and here's our new panelist, Phil CM Punk Brooks. What do you think of tonight's show? And just fucking let him go off. He's not an employee of WWE, he's an employee of Fox, so that would, maybe that's his spiel. Maybe he wants to be able to just rip them apart every week, and that's how he's gonna get back at him. Which, that would be awesome. By the way, let's see what else we got here. Oh boy, Jeff Hardy. Like, even Matt, I was reading his, I think it was his Twitter, but even he didn't. I want to say he disowned him, but he kind of wiped his hands on him and said, like, look, man, that's my brother. I love him, but he's got to take care of himself. He's got to man up, and, you know, kind of said, hey, I got my kids, another one on the way. I'm trying to get back on TV. Like, I can't just keep, you know, going to bat for this guy. A lot of fans too, man. Like, I know Jeff Hardy's moves a lot of merch, and he's very beloved, and, you know, he's still doing the stunts and jumping off of things and all that. It's just like, I don't know, man. Just maybe the whole being hurt thing and getting off the road and just kind of being around by yourself. Who knows? I don't want to speculate too much, but that kind of sucks. I mean, I know if you watch all of our highlight videos that we do, or the reaction videos, we give a lot of shit to Jeff Hardy, but, you know, we don't really dislike the guy. We're actually kind of rooting for him, man. But it's just like, how many times, you know what I mean? I was talking to Roger about it. I was like, what if they just kind of turned him over to NXT and said, hey, we're going to send you down to NXT. You're going to be a performer / coach. And, like, with that kind of responsibility, with all these youngsters looking up at him, maybe that'll kick his butt into gear and kind of, you know, force him into that mentor role, that teacher role, where he kind of has to take everything a little bit more seriously, and you know, kind of takes a little bit more charge of his life to be a good example for all the up and coming guys on NXT. I think that'd be, if the WWE wants to keep him, that's probably the way to go. That's definitely a possibility that they should explore. But, you know, who knows what happens with that, man. Let's see, ROH, they re-signed Taven. That's good. Taven is their guy. He needs to be their top heel. He's got genuine heat. So I know a lot of people don't like him, but I love his. I liked when he was when he had that purple belt and he was insane. He's great for it. Marty Scurll, I think his contract's up in November. Man, he's got. I can see him going to NXT, but at the same time, you know, AEW could really use somebody like Scurll. Obviously, he's friends with all of them, so we'll see where that goes. Hopefully, he signs with them, because they definitely still need to build in that roster. There's spots where they can use guys like him. He can go either heel or face, and, you know, he's still going to be loved, and people are always going to be wanting to watch him. So we'll see how that goes. The Dragon Lee and his brother Roosh both got fired from CMLL. I'm reading. I don't know too much about that, but that kind of sounds like maybe they were being told, hey, don't wrestle these shows, and they probably did it anyway. So that's what that sounds like. And then Jericho versus Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. I guess that's all right. I kind of wanted Jericho versus Suzuki, Minoru Suzuki, but I guess we're not getting that. Also, I think Suzuki's on his way out of New Japan. What it sounds like, he's very unhappy with the way that they're booking him, or whatever's going on. I mean, you know, the guy's 50 plus. He should be in high quality matches with, like I said, him and Jericho I think would be better for Wrestle Kingdom than Jericho and Tanahashi. I'm not really interested in that, but, you know, I can understand his frustration. He could always go back to Noah. He could go anywhere in Japan, really, in America here if he wanted to. I guess he can come. Somebody would always use him here. I know AEW could probably use him for a few shows or something like that. This would be a good way to get back at New Japan, I guess. WWE, I don't know if they could use maybe NXT UK or something, but who knows, man. But yeah, that's pretty much been the week of wrestling. A whole lot of stuff going down, and it looks like Wednesday night is the night, man. Let me know what you guys think. Are you fully on AEW now? Are you still a diehard WWE guy and you want to defend what the hell happened tonight, man? Because I don't see how you could. Oh, it's just like, really, I should be angry, but like, it actually just puts a huge smile on my face, because this is what is to be expected of WWE now, man. This is what they do. They piss you off. You fall for it every time. They set up these matches. Everybody comes up with what should happen, what may happen, something like that, right? And then, it almost feels like WWE gets wind of it, like, okay, people are already onto the obvious ending. Now, screw that. You know what? Swerve it. Let's change it somehow. They don't make the, they don't make the calls around here. We do. Like, they still hate their fans in a way. So, at least that's the way I see it, man. I don't know. You guys let me know, but like, this is a very WWE thing to do. Let's go into this huge thing with the eyes, everybody's eyes watching it. Bray Wyatt is the hottest thing going in our company. Push to this main event thing with Seth Rollins way too fast. I believe they should have built it more. And if you're gonna, if you're gonna put him in there this fast, that's why everybody thought, oh, they're gonna do it, like strike while the iron's hot, right? Well, they just fucking dipped that iron into fucking waterfall. I don't see how they bring him back, man. Like tomorrow, unless they have something super cool planned for tomorrow. Ooh, this is gonna be a tough one to get Bray Wyatt out of again, man, because they dug him a hole many times, and through his own work and his relentless character building, he crawled out and he managed to make himself the hottest thing again, and they managed to fucking bury him again. So, man, who knows what the hell's gonna happen? And where was the Undertaker? I thought he was supposed to be on SmackDown. Maybe he's getting ready for Saudi Arabia too. Who knows, man? Oh, just what a week. What a time. Let me know what you guys think about this crazy week that we just went through, man. And what's coming up in the future. What do you guys think? Let me know right there in the comment section. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Strong Mid-Card Podcast, man. Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe and like if you haven't already. We're trying to build up that base there. And yeah, more reaction videos coming probably within the next week. I'm trying to get everybody here. And yeah, love you guys. Talk to you later. Peace. AEW, AEW, AEW.